We got
I got 8:30, Bill.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Drone Therapy Season 6, Episode 6. Does DJI have a GPS problem? And we think we have some answers, but you know how those shows go when they tell you, tonight, we're going to tell you if we found Bigfoot or not. It's going to be kind of like one of those shows.
The teaser.
We got a lot of information, and we think that we've come to the most logical conclusions. But we need to share them with you all and see what you all think. Because you know me, I kind of half-assed my research anyway. I spent the last 3 or 4 days looking up stuff about different satellites and what all these drones and everything use. But without giving too much away, let me run around the room real quick and let everybody say their howdies. And I will start first with Mr. Ron Brown. And when Ron gets done, he'll tell me where to throw it to next. Ron.
Thank you, Bill. Hello, everybody. Welcome, everybody in the chats out there. I think we're going to have a big show tonight. We got a great panel, and I will pass this over to my good friend down in Texas, Chris Hope.
Evening, y'all. Hope y'all are doing all right this season. Y'all better buckle up, saddle up, and hang on. Bill's gonna fix to turn it loose.
Yeah.
Okay, where you? I'm not gonna Bob.
Bob, go to Bob.
Hey. Hi, everybody. Thanks. We're here. Today's like 75 degrees. I got to thank all the people on this show for helping Old Farts last week. That was just a wonderful thing. I've gotten so many positive comments from what we did last week, and I'm just looking forward to helping everybody else. That's great.
And over to Keith.
Hi. Well, sorry, I wasn't ready for that one. Morning, everyone, or evening, everyone, depending on where you are in the world. Hopefully, it's going to be a great show today.
And over to Chuck.
Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good everything. I'm Chuck with Covaction.
Very cool.
Cover it all.
And
cover it all.
We're waiting on one other gentleman who was basically the inspiration for tonight's show. So he told me he was eating his breakfast, and as soon as he gets done eating his breakfast, he'll join us in a little bit. First off, I don't know if any of you noticed, Chris, QC guy, came out with a video today telling everyone that, yes, finally, Autel admitted that they used cheap rubber in the dampeners on the Nano models, hence the jittery video and stuff, and they're covered under warranty. And well, basically what it was is they were in a hurry to get them to market, so they used cheap toy dampeners. And nice. anybody that's had one of those, the minute I saw it, I was like, they just use cheap rubber in the dampeners, man. Anybody that had toys started out with toy drones, and you knew those cheap rubber, they were hard dampeners up in there, and they worked a little bit, but they'd be like, and you were
nice,
just like,
Chris.
you knew that's what it was. And the minute I saw it, I was like, oh, they just use cheap rubber in those dampeners, man. And it was kind of like what Hubsan did. They went cheap to get their product out because they were catching.
They charge you a big premium for it.
How much?
I think the Nano's a lot more than the Mini 2. The Nano Plus is nearly twice as much.
But supposedly it's covered under warranty. So I'm wondering. Oh, mine's low. Curtis is saying
good luck.
Low.
Good luck with the Chinese warranty, because right now, I mean, you won't be able to get them repaired because I think they're closed for another 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, the Olympics is going on right now.
No. They actually didn't they go back. They went.
That's right.
They went back to work today, didn't they?
Did
they
they
go back to work?
Yeah, some of them went back to work. Some of my people reached out to me today, so some of them are back to work.
That's what I had heard was that they went back to work today.
Well, funny
Today
enough,
is-
like
And also, there's rumors that you may be sending these units back to Everett, Washington, rather than China for repair.
Oh, really now?
Or sending the Bill's house. He'll fix them for you.
well, I was.
Then it'll go to his neighbor's house, like his takeout.
No. The thing about. Wait a minute. I'm
Remember
trying
that?
to. Which drones are we talking about now? Are we talking about the Mavics or are we talking about the Autel?
We're still with the Nano and the rubber ball.
Okay, well, so but the thing about it is the headquarters is in Bothell, like 15 miles from my house, literally. So we'll just take them over there. But somebody was telling me, I think it was Rod was telling me that they're doing them in Texas now. There's a factory in Texas.
Of course.
That's what I was. I think that's what he
Sure
was
now.
trying to tell me.
When they buy the old Google, they buy the Google factory where they were making.
I don't know.
Remember
But anyway,
remember the Moto X got made in Texas? Remember that?
I think they're fixing the Cowboy Stadium. They won't be using it anytime soon.
Exactly.
Oh,
There we go. Alan's he's got the bug again.
Damn,
He's
Ron,
got the
that
bug
hurt.
again, so he's back to making videos. All right. I've farted around enough. Okay.
Yeah, we squirreled it.
Well, I mean that's the whole point. That's the show. We're a combination of old farts and young farts and crazy minds and
Medium
batshit crazy
farts.
people.
At least we're still monetized at this point.
Middle age.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
What do you mean monetize?
Off gas.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah, I was on
Monetize.
some show, Bill, where they were talking about the guests getting 25% of the show's profits.
Really now?
Well,
What?
yeah.
What? What?
25% of negative 50 is still negative.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
Brian
ooh.
Mackey's calling. Hang on a second.
Ooh.
Brian Mack is calling.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah, really.
All right,
Michael.
all right,
Now that there's a check involved, he might come in.
back on subject.
Wait a minute. He's saying yes, but then they said something about it being in Texas now.
Since
I think it
when,
was Rod
Justin?
that was telling me.
Since
Huh.
when?
I know, but I'm not. But I don't
Really?
think it wasn't Austin that told me. But I'm pretty sure it was Rod. Anyway, I need to get back on track here. All right. So, like I said, bad dampeners. Apparently, they're going to take care of it. God knows how long it's going to take for the turnaround to get your drone fixed and back to you. It would seem simpler to me for them just to ship you a new drone and you ship them the old one.
Bill, the Mini 3 will be out before all that gets taken care of.
Yeah. So I'll slap
Please,
themselves in the face. Again.
Please.
Slap themselves in the face again. All right. So talking
It's too
about
bad.
the issues with the Mavic 3 and the GPS. The thing that we've come to find out is all of the Mavic 3 or all of the Mavic series drones seem to use a different GPS system. All of them use the oldest and most durable, most reliable system, which is GPS, which is the US-based system. So, and speaking of the devil, he's here now. So the US GPS system is the
Steven.
oldest and is the longest. But each other drone uses something different. Like the Mavic 2S uses GPS, Glonass, which is the Soviet satellite, and Galileo.
Galileo.
The new
Figaro.
Mavic 3, the new
Magnetic
Mavic 3 uses GPS, Galileo,
Galileo.
Beidou, Beidou, which is the Chinese satellite, right? Okay, and Beidou is their most up to date
Sorry.
two-way satellite. So it's basically their public satellite and their military satellite. And we'll get into more of that into a minute. But we also looked into the fact that the Mavic 2, what did I tell you, Chuck, uses GPS and GLONASS, right? The
Yes.
Mavic 2 Pro.
Yes.
So that's why people who have the older drones are not having the same issues.
I will
Okay.
attest to that.
Okay.
Mavic 2 Pro flies and connects.
Right, because it's still using
Better.
GLONASS happens to be lower in the atmosphere than any of the other satellite systems. So it's actually making more revelations and making more coverage than any of the other satellites.
So
okay?
Glonass is our favorite satellite system then?
Not necessarily our favorite. It's right now. It's kind of the semi-dependable, but
It's the
Strong
most-
like
it's-
ox.
It's the
And
most
the Russian,
reliable.
Yes,
It's certainly the
most
most reliable.
okay.
It's not like Chernobyl at all. It's actually
the
reliable.
Beidou system is a
Doo-doo.
Chinese is a Chinese satellite system. It is completely operational. It is, what did I say? Let me go ahead and bring this up.
Bring her up.
Which it was accurate to within 1 we say? 1 centimeter?
1 meter for
Let me get
non-military.
this.
Is that what you
Sounds
said?
pretty accurate.
Yeah, that's what's so trippy, man, is when it tells you that for non-military, it's this accurate. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Locating accuracy. Beidou upgraded its performance after the completion of its third stage, reaching accuracy at 1 meter for public use and 1 centimeter for encrypted military use.
Nice.
Okay, but here's the thing. We'll come down here and we'll look at it, and it explains to you that why the Chinese system is different, and it could be potentially why it's worrying the shit out of the Americans so much, because it tells you that the Beidou system, I'll go up here and highlight this. Oh, shit. Damn it, stop. Okay. It says it tells you right here is the Beidou system is a two-way communication system, which is different from the other GPS or GNSS, which is the acronym that they use to show that it's your country's global positioning system. This characteristic is useful for fishing boats, buses, field staff, and rescuers that wish to send messages informed of their locations. People trapped in da-da-da-da. So basically what it is if you don't have a cell phone connection, you can ping off of these satellites and tell them where you are so they can locate you and rescue you. But it also explains that as well, the intrinsic disadvantage is that the two-way system compromises accuracy and takes up wider bandwidth, which could be another reason for losing signals, right? If you broaden the bandwidth, there's a possibility of breakage. Is that correct, or am I reaching for straws? Steve, anybody?
I don't have enough experience with it,
anyway,
and I don't think any of us do.
Okay.
Bill, you're not saying that this Chinese satellite's going to take the information off my device and send it back
hang on.
to the mothership, are you?
Wait here, Ron. If you'll read down here towards the bottom, it says Taiwan's Ministry of Science and Technology, for example, recommended that national defense agencies monitor signals transmitted by Beidou, as they may track users by deploying malware on Beidou-enabled chip and transmit information through navigation signals or messaging function.
That's what Taiwan says.
Something quite interesting here is that there was a bunch of pilots that I was dealing with last night that I was managing last night here in Taiwan, and funnily enough, and they all had Mavic 3s. Every one of them had Mavic 3s. There was about 5 or 6 of them, and they all had Mavic 3s. Now, I didn't get a chance to deal with them when they were flying, but actually Sean was asking me to ask them how quickly it takes them to get a signal, because it was quite interesting. It's going to be quite interesting. Do they get a signal faster here in Asia, or is it just that people in the West are finding it difficult? So I'll try to find this out in the next day or two, because I'm having them tomorrow as well. Actually,
what Keith?
I can tell you it's over 2 minutes here.
Okay, another thing too, because I was on Robbie's show and he attested to the same thing.
Robbie told me the same thing.
It was taking him longer.
So Keith, are you saying that it's actually quicker for you to get? Do you have a Mavic 3?
Slow. I mean, I've
4
flown
minutes.
Mavic 3 numerous times. I haven't bought one yet, but I've flown one numerous times, and on top of the car park. So this is on top of a car park. It still takes the best part of 2 to 3 minutes to get.
And is this when you know that you can get a signal a lot faster?
Well, put it this way: compared to my Air to S, which does it in under 30 seconds.
Okay, right. Okay, fair enough. Well, you're in Thailand.
Yes.
One more time, you got to go home. Oh, you are home.
Okay.
So I'm in the same place as I'm near where Robbie is. We're just on opposite sides of the Gulf.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's the other part. One of those satellites that I listed that the Mavic 3 uses is Galileo.
Come on, guys! Come on! You all have to do that.
It's getting weak on me, man. It's getting weak on me. Okay. Galileo presently has 22 of 24 satellites functional and working. Okay, it's the newest of all the GNSS systems. Therefore, the most accurate, the most powerful, it's actually in the highest geosynchronous orbit. So supposedly it can cover better and everything. Okay, when we now have, effective as of January 31st, all the testing was done and everything, their final 2 satellites, completing the 24 in order to complete the global circle of the planet and everything, to complete the Galileo system. They're waiting on the last 2 systems to be commissioned so that they can be flipped on, basically, and complete the entire system. It's expected to happen sometime in the middle of February to the end of February. So another thing, as Stephen likes to point out, we're not, satellite scientists and everything. I mean, this is pure speculation, but it seems logical that at which point in time, we've all heard that there's rumors that DJI is going to come out with a firmware update in March. We would assume, or I'm assuming, just me, nobody else on the panel, just me, is assuming that a firmware update would give the drones the ability to speak to the updated Galileo system.
Well,
Galileo,
what I think, I actually don't think that we're going to have Galileo on the Mavic 3. What I think is that because this is a new system, that it's not quite in place yet. And
no, Galileo
I think
is on the chip. It's actually listed on the specs. Galileo is there. Yeah, Galileo is there.
It is. But
okay. But why is it not? But it should. See, I don't understand why they haven't put it on. It's
DJI have licensing issues.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We didn't say that. We haven't talked about the fact
you're talking about there is a specific issue with the Russians, but there is also, so in the last year, DJI has been put on certain lists within the US, and because pretty much everything that's in that drone has a patent on it, and most of it at some point will drill down to a US patent.
Yes.
And DJI are having problems now getting licensing for that. They are on.
However, if they have certification now, for now, how can they be certified if they haven't got a license for something?
They are changing parts and getting different parts that are not directly connected. Or I can say, I'll say this much, because there's some stuff I can't. DJI are shopping around for new components and new parts that are not directly connected to US manufacturers or US patents. They are looking for different parts for newer drones.
Is that anything like them $135 Gucci bags?
But they are on the shop out now. Whether that has anything to do with the Mavic 3, I do not know. But I do know that they are having manufacturing issues, should we say?
Well,
everyone's having manufacturing issues just now, so it's not. I mean, it isn't anything new, and
not everybody's in trouble with the U.S. government.
I mean, maybe in a sense that they've had manufacturing issues with the Mavic 3, that it's an incomplete product.
Oh, it's very much an incomplete product.
It's incomplete.
I mean, that's stating the obvious. That
Okay, how many drones that have come out to date have been a complete product?
That's like every other DJI drone certainly has been in need of like firmware updates and refinement and stuff. But this thing came out the door lacking a lot of features that they promised. I mean, not just a couple of things, not like precision landing like on the Mavic 2 series. This thing was missing a shit ton of stuff.
I
okay,
totally agree with you, Chuck.
So then they do a firmware update. I buy it. They do a firmware update, and it's still not right.
Bill.
Still not right.
Okay, you can say, did they hide it from us? But that is no. It should never have been released.
Right,
you do not charge that kind of money. You do not charge that kind of money for a drone.
They wanted it under the Christmas
and then
tree
put it out
unready.
Hey, I bought it too. I bought it too. I'm not saying that I was skittish about flying it for a while until this most recent update.
I flew it last weekend, and I've essentially grounded this aircraft because last weekend.
Anyway,
it's disappointing. Let's leave it at that.
We've kind of bounced around. Okay, so my theory is that when Galileo's system, and that's part of the reason that Galileo was supposed to be done last year. Okay, Galileo was supposed to be fully functional in 2021. So I'm assuming that's part of the reason that DJI had switched over. I was hoping that everything would be in position by then and it wouldn't be an issue. But as we pointed to, DJI no longer has license to the Glonass satellite for anything beyond the Air 2S. So that's something I've been told it's political. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know what that
Feels
issue
like
is.
it.
But would it be beneficial for them to get it back? Yes. Also, to Steven's point, saying the firmware will not, if China was to get the Glonass license back today, it would not benefit the Mavic 3 because there is no Glonass chip in the Mavic 3.
Is it really a chip, or is it just a radio that's? It is a chip. It's not just a radio.
Because you have to have specific chips to communicate with the various satellite systems.
Have we ever had a device that has been updated? And I'm not talking about a drone. I'm talking about any device. I'm talking about one of the sat navs in your car or whatever that you used to have before you had them actually in the car now.
Those things,
but have we ever had an update which would add a new satellite? A new satellite type.
So
I've never paid attention to that.
I can
exactly. So nobody seems to.
You can put the chip on your board and just not activate it in the firmware. Now, so we've made components that connect to both GPS, GLONASS, and I'm going to say it, Galileo.
Galileo.
But Galileo and GLONASS are switched off because you have to obtain licensing for it. So you can use the chip, but if the minute you switch that license on, you are obviously susceptible to costs and things like that. The Mavic 3 supposedly doesn't even have the GLONASS chip in it.
Yeah, and also that would have to be certified. All these drones, whatever the device, doesn't have to be a drone, but it has to be certified. So this drone is now certified. So to bring in the new satellite or whatever service, it has to be certified.
Let me have it.
I see that. I see that as a problem because right now the drone is certified. You would have to recertify it.
Just a second. I wanted to say, everybody, if you can see the link that I got here, I've actually pinned it. That's tonight's sticker sponsor. You can see Flying Flint. I don't know. I hope you can hang on. Let me highlight myself here. Flying Flint Media. And we also, in the tonight's sticker pack, will have the new hollow stickers. I don't know if it's going to reflect good enough here. Let's see. No, not really.
It's kind of working.
Kind of working. And of course, one of the original Coast to Coast drone stickers in the pack. Let me go back to normal here. And I wanted to say thank you to Flying Flint Media. It will be pinned up there all night long. So please don't forget to go check out his channel, of course, after the show. So without further ado, let me say, go down through here and let me holler at some people here real quick while we've got this brief interruption. So I'm going to come up here and I'm going to say hi to Angel. Shit, I totally missed you were here. Angel is one of the guys that I met at the new drone group and happened to drive up the road here last weekend. He puts up some phenomenal stuff in the city of Seattle. I have him. He's actually in the group Coast to Coast Drones. Anybody that's not a member of Coast to Coast Drones, please check out the links down here at the bottom. You can go find us on Facebook and come in there and hang out with us. So get over there and check out his channel. He was saying him personally in Seattle, he is 6 to 7 minutes on the ground waiting for full connection to take off.
Wow, that's twice as bad as mine. But I was in the middle of a field near the Keuka outlet, which is like, I'm in the woods basically. But no, I was a wide open field, no trees. It was about 4 minutes.
Keep talking. I'm gonna highlight names.
Like I think partly this is partly down to GLONASS, but it's not entirely. I think a software update can certainly
make
improve
it snappier
speed. I mean, at the end of the day, it's using GPS, and GPS has pretty much global coverage. So in theory, it should be able to connect quicker than it is. That I think part of the problem is that it needs a minimum of, I think it's 12 satellites to be stable, which is a lot more than I think other GPS devices need to get with a reasonably accurate location. So I think they can do something to improve it slightly.
Hope so.
The reason I'm
but
highlighting
as it stands right now, when you sit it next to a drone that literally costs half the money, the Air 2S is in the air minutes before the Mavic 3.
yeah.
But the difference in those two is Glonass. GPS is still on both of those birds. Explain that.
Yeah, it's Glonass and software. The GPS, whilst it might not be as accurate when it comes to location, it has got as wide, if not wider, coverage. And at the end of the day, the drone doesn't need like a 1 meter accuracy. It needs to have a lock of numerous satellites so that it can essentially be stable. So GPS
so it doesn't
is
do
fine.
it mine. Sorry, Keith.
GPS is fine for that. I think this is a combination of. It's not going to get an update. It's not going to go to Glonass because, as Stephen says, it's already certified. So they can't recertify. They can put an updated model out.
Wouldn't that be nice?
See,
I think Keith says it. I think Keith says it there. I think that's the point. And I was hoping to get to this point, but Keith has just said the magic word that you're looking at a new model, and unfortunately, I think that will do DJI some harm. It's already done them harm right now. They're either damned if they do or they're damned if they don't. So if they don't fix it, we're unhappy. If they release a new drone, there's a lot of people will be unhappy. I've not had time to buy the Mavic 3 because I've literally been traveling since beginning of October, so I've not had the time to buy it yet. But I would have bought it when it would have come out if I was home. But I'm not going to buy it now, and I think that if there's a new one, let's see if they call it a 3S. There's also rumors of an Inspire 3.
How I feel right now.
If there's a rumor of the Inspire 3, is that going to have GLONASS?
I gotta fix him.
What is that going to have? Are they going to have the same problems? Because they can't release the Inspire 3 with the same problem. So they're going to have to find a solution.
I don't think the Mini 3 is going to be out anytime soon.
Well, that would be even worse because the market for that would be much, much larger than the Inspire 2. Well, sorry, Inspire 3.
See, I'm totally losing. You all are totally losing me. What I've tried to explain to you is Galileo is not turned on this bird yet. It's ready to be turned on. But
I don't think it will be.
Bill, Galileo does not have the coverage.
It will with these final two satellites because the fourth positioning satellite will be there. Right now, there's only 3. The fourth one is in orbit, and the last information part of the satellite system is there now. They're waiting for commissioning. It's already been through all the testing. It's just a matter of, like I said, flipping the switch to turn them on and complete the whole system. The whole point is Galileo was supposed to be complete in May of last year. It was supposed to be up, running, and done. Now I think they finally launched the last 2 satellites was in December, was when they finally got them up. But it won't be until, like I said, the middle of this month. It could be potentially the middle of next month before they get it all the way up, running, and complete. Because we've been talking about firmware and stuff tonight. There's probably going to be a glitch here or there. They're going to have to work out a bug or two. But basically right now we're depending upon GPS and the Chinese satellite. So we don't know what that Chinese satellite information it's asking that drone for. As compared to... Okay, go ahead.
Can I put a question for the panel? How many of you, Chuck, Bob, Ron, Chris is away to get a beer again a bit. Keith, how many of you think that this will be fixed on the Mavic 3? And how many? I told you he's going to get a beer. I was wrong. How many of you think this is going to get fixed on the Mavic 3? And how many of you think it won't be fixed on the Mavic 3? Interesting. Chuck, you first. Chuck,
I'm a bit biased because of that. So I kind of hope it gets fixed, but I'm 50-50, Steven. I'll tell you this though, the GPS connection time is 4 minutes or so for me. And honestly, that gives me time to do pre-flight checks and stuff like that I normally don't do on the other one because it gets up in the air so fast. So that's one thing. But when I'm in the air with this thing, dude, it like wanders around, and I don't know if that's because it's picking up and losing satellites, and I'm kind of like flying, and I'm not looking at the little itty bitty teeny tiny print I can't see with how many satellites I have locked in, but I'm just wondering if that's part of the reason it kind of gets drifty.
Well,
that's the most annoying thing about the Mavic 3 for me. I can't get cinematic shots because the damn thing wanders around like.
Well, that's a really, really good point, and that makes me really think, because there was a video that Bill posted on the Coast to Coast Facebook group last night of the show that I just done. And all that was shot with a Mavic 3. There was actually several Mavic 3s. And they were all shooting.
Out loud, it wasn't me.
And I said, it was all Mavic. Now, they had to be on demand, right? So because when we were launching, they all had to be ready, right? And they knew, and I think they had 5 minutes pre-roll time where they knew they had to launch, but they all, and every one of them were in the air. So there was about 6 or I think about 6 Mavic 3s in the air last night, all actually filming. And the footage is fantastic. I mean, the footage is great. There was no, you can go and watch that footage. It was fantastic.
The camera's great.
I'm wondering if it's just in the West that this is not keeping, and in here over here again. Keith, maybe this is something that you could maybe check. Is it actually keeping the position? Is it a bit more stable here? It took you 2 minutes, but it's taken Chuck 5 minutes.
It's stable. It's stable in the air. See, I think
you can launch.
I was talking to Chuck off air about this. I think part of the problem is because Chuck's flown a Mavic 2 Pro. Now, the Mavic 2 Pro is a steady, stable drone. When DJI released the Mavic Air 2S, it was kind of a bit more scrappy-do in the air. It was a bit more, let me at them. It's a bit more jumpy in the air. And the Mavic 3 is very similar to the Air 2S in its flight dynamics. I think part of it is the fact that when it goes up and down, like the Air 2S, it's a bit wobbly. But when it's in the air and flying, and I've got it in cine mode or trained in, it's a very stable drone. I haven't seen the wandering issues in Asia.
I had problems with wandering when I was trying to do I was over this tower, and I was trying to do an Eye of God, and the drone when I was ascending it and and yawing at the same time, it kind of it shifted on me a little bit every now and again. It would shift, and it totally destroyed the shot. I mean, the regular shots, it wasn't apparent, but anytime you did something that really required that really precision movement stuff, that's what I'm saying. And the camera's great. The camera's amazing. But what good is it if the aircraft carrying the camera is kind of, scrappy-doish and wandering and stuff?
I think, I don't know. I think part of it is its flight dynamics, and I think you have to tune it in. It's a very different bird to the Mavic 2.
Those. I can
in the way it flies. But
Chuck, is this your second or your first one?
This is the first
one.
Okay, yeah, because I couldn't remember if you got a replacement.
I didn't have to. I didn't have to send it back. The issue I had was with the camera tilt, the gimbal tilt. And fly app is shit, actually. But they added
app is a lot.
They added EXP. It's better than it was, but it's.
I believe what Herman's saying. I think you got a bad IMU, or it's going bad.
Yeah, it could well be, because I didn't Ken Donald have the same issue, and he got a replacement or something, didn't he? I think he got a replacement. I could be wrong.
I just want to say thank you for the guys that's done spent $6,000 to $8,000 on this panel tonight on the Mavic 3s. That's kept me from buying one. I am so thankful for y'all.
So let's say
that's more beer for you, Chris. That's more beer for you.
How does somebody check the IMU? Because you can calibrate it, but how do you?
You can't check the IMU if you have to. I mean, if you have to calibrate the IMU all the time, then you know that there's a problem. But if it's not giving you the error message, and you're having that kind of, that similar kind of error, then there's something with the software or there's something with the hardware that is giving you that issue. Then you have to have a replacement. So
yeah. Dennis Lovely had that issue. IMU toast, man, just out of the box, brand new.
Yeah, I mean that's yeah.
They polished the turd.
I think the Fly app. I was a big critic of it.
Oh,
but it seems to be much.
That's right. I forgot Herman's replaced one.
Oh, okay. So Herman's got a replacement. I wonder. Yeah, because he said that his was moving around a lot. It was doing something similar to, I think, what Chuck said as well.
Well, the first thing I had was the drunken. I had the drunken mosquito syndrome, which you probably heard about, where if you have the obstacle avoidance and bypass, the drone will. That's what somebody called it. It's perfect.
No, I liked what Mike said.
Anyway,
that's how you check your IMU.
Yeah, right.
You dip your stick in.
I don't know. You can't look at the telemetry from or anything. I have no idea. Maybe I can send a flight log to DJI and say, "Tell me what's going on," and they'll lie to me and say it's fine because that's what they'll do. So what do I do? What do I do? I'm dealing with a bunch of crooks. What do I do? What do you do?
You buy it at Best Buy and you carry it back within 30 days, dude. That's what you do.
Okay, second. Give me just a second. Please, everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's in the chat, go check out Tesla Drones. She's the organizer of the group where I met those people at and everything. She's super cool, really nice. Go check out her channel. I think it's got a link to her website. They do a lot of commercial work in every aspect of any kind of 107 work you could do. I think they cover it all. So please get over there, check out their channel, sub up to them, check out what videos they got. I think Caleb's link's different, but anyway, maybe Archer will hook you up. But go over there and check that out. Check out Archer's channel when you get a chance. But she's very knowledgeable, does a lot of really super cool editing and stuff. I love the way she edits. Her real estate videos are completely different from any I've ever seen. And I can't believe people haven't jumped on that yet. So please get over there and check hers out. Like I said, already get out and check out Angel. See, I found people nearby I can actually get the hell out of my backyard and go fly camera drones with. Yay! Okay, back to the show.
Take a deep breath, Bill. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm out of energy drinks.
You out of air.
I'm out of energy drinks. Well, you know how I am when I'm reading everybody's name. That's why I decided,
I need to take a deep breath too. I'm still trying to figure out.
Okay, the thing about Herman here, what was the reason that he sent the first one back?
I think it was doing the same thing. I think it was doing this mosquito thing. I think he said that was literally almost flew away.
Mine only did that. Mine only did it in bypass. So when obstacle avoidance is in bypass, you'd yaw or something, it would bobble and it would bobble, and it still does that. But if you turn off bypass and put, well, it does.
Then I'm not trying to be a smart ass, Chuck.
No, Chris. You've
answered your own question. I am used bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I've told you that for days, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it actually sounds like your drone's behaving like one of those cheap Chinese drones that you buy for $40, which looks like a Phantom 4.
I think that's a bad starter on the IMU, and it's about to short out on you. I think that's what's wrong.
Like a Xeno.
If the solder point's bad on that IMU, either that or the IMU itself is about to go bad completely. So
sorry, Ron.
I guess it's time to call drone nerds and
what do you think, Ron? What do you think, Bob?
Well, I don't have a 3. I don't have a Mavic 3, and I'm
just generally speaking though, because
I think that if they could have fixed this thing in firmware right away, they would have done it by now. They've gotten so much flack, and there isn't a drone channel you can listen to where they don't talk about the problems of collecting satellites, So I'm sure it's probably going to be some sort of retrofit they're going to have to do like Autel is going to do with the Nano. They're going to somehow take them back and fix them.
Oh, I don't think DJI will ever do that.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna say, you know,
DJI will
thank you.
never
Come
take a
again.
step back.
You
All right.
beta test flyers has come through for the poor people. I appreciate it.
You see, you have. I mean, you have to remember that DJI and Auto are the only real serious people in this market at this level. So DJI can, at this point in time, behave exactly the way they want.
Yep.
And there's going to be thousands of people that are still going to go and buy these drones because, you know, every time somebody posts, I've got a problem with my drone, you get 5,000 guys going, well, I haven't got a problem with mine. And that attitude means that DJI just don't give a crap. So, you know.
I tell you what this is like, right? I tell you what this is like. DJI is our partner that has cheated on us, that has done the bad stuff on us, and it's going to be difficult for some people to forgive. Some people will just accept it and let them back in. Will DJI do it again? And our partner will walk all over us and maybe break our hearts again. I don't know. I think this is a very interesting position right now for DJI. They're at a bit of a crossroads with everything that's happening in the US and with the way that they have, let's say, treated their faithful customers. It's a very interesting situation right now, and I think that I don't think DJI will fix it for the Mavic 3. They've got obviously the Mini 2 and the Inspire 3 if they are supposed to be coming out. That's when they can, that's how they can fix things, and maybe a Mavic 3S. But I can't see a Mavic 3S. And also, there's also been rumors about the Mavic 3 Enterprise. If we think about the Mavic 3 right now, it doesn't even have SDK. So from my point of view, it's a pointless drone because I can't work with it. I can't actually use it for work. And for some of the work that I use, I need to have it up in the air, instantly. I can't wait for 5-6 minutes or even 2 minutes to get a GPS log. I need to get it up.
So it's not like something that hasn't happened before. They absolutely grounded.
Okay. No, I'm sorry, but that's 3 weeks. We are 2.5 months into a release of a Mavic.
He's saying the
bird
was completely put on the ground. You could not fly it at all for a week. That's a month.
Yes, but that was also when DJI were a much smaller company and not in the consumer drone market the way they are now. That is an apologist comment. Sorry, but it is. You cannot apply what DJI were 5 years ago to what they are now. They put out a consumer drone that thousands and thousands of people have bought. It's not the same thing as putting an Inspire 1 out that 100 customers bought and grounding. Mm-hmm. It's not the same thing. It's not.
That should never happen. That really should never happen, actually. And if it does happen, look, you don't know. Well, no one knows what's happening in DJI because they'll never be transparent enough to tell you what is going on. They're never going to be transparent enough to tell you what the full honest. It's just not going to happen. So we're just going to have to speculate. That's all we're going to have to do. We're going to speculate and wait.
All right. Now, as you all can see in the chat, we already have a number guessed, and as soon as you see me enter this, whoever wins the private chat, so you all know the number 2, and you can help get even number between 1 and 54. I will wait until I pick up more speed again. All right, and go between 1 and 50. Between 1 and 50 now, folks. Pick a number between 1 and 50. Not yet. Nope. Come on, keep on guessing. Oh, what the hell, Chuck?
Well, you said to try, so I'll stop.
I was really going to say,
wait.
He knows what it is.
Actually, I don't. Oh shit! No, I wasn't even looking.
No.
I wasn't even looking.
It still hasn't come in.
Oh, that's funny, Keith.
And then we're rolling. It's still coming, going, and we ain't got the number just yet. Oh, Gimp Man. Sorry, Gimp Man. Didn't mean to not have you with a. Has it come through yet? No, hell no. They still ain't guessed it.
People
No.
have been
Oh, Texas Arch guy got it.
That's a good number.
Mike got
Texas Arch guy got it. Yeah.
it. Mike got it.
Arch drone guy.
Mike got it right
Of
here.
course,
Right here.
Mike does.
Yeah, I've already got Mike's address, so it's easy.
And Grumpy nailed it right after.
Mike
Good job.
wanted to get the new Hollow sticker along with John's Flying Flynn Media sticker. That's what it was. So we already know. Let me write this down that Mike got the first one.
There's not enough geeks in here because I thought that would be the first number that anybody would get.
I thought that's what I said. I was like, okay,
It's
that's
always
cool.
something.
It just kept on rolling and rolling. It was awesome, man. Hey, great, everybody that played. Let me hang on a second. Let me hook up Gimp Man here. We'll go ahead and give Gimp Man. That's an original name, have to admit. Gimp Man, there you go. You got you a moderator's badge now too, like everybody else. All right, here in just a little bit, we've got 2 more to give away later on. Let us get back to the hot discussions about the Mavic 3. All in all, for the drone, what do you all think? I mean, the camera, like Chuck says, it's a phenomenal camera on a ship airframe.
It is. Well,
That's the selling point for me, the camera. That's what I like.
yeah, but if it's being carried around by something that's wonky, it's kind of useless.
Okay, I'm still trying to.
It's amazing. The
Hey,
camera's amazing.
man, ease up.
Wait, Steve. Did I see Steve Carpenter is in here now? Steve Carpenter. Howdy, buddy. Howdy, hey. Chris Galuski. Let me holler to people. Mr. J's RC.
Yes.
Charles Hatmaker. Texas Arc Drone Guy. Gimp Man. Howdy, buddy. Curtis Dart. Recovery Drone. Mikey B. M Drone 1. Bob Casey Ariel. Greg Pittman. Steven Drones. Brent Ariels. The Grumpy Vlogger, Kurt Coleman. Let's see if I'm trying to catch as many as I have. Who all have I missed? You see anybody, Ron? Throw some more out there if we missed. Brand Ariels. I said Brand Ariels. Thomas Baker, aka TEB Drone Flyer. Good to see you, sir. I think he needs a moderator's badge. That's a ways back there for me. I gotta switch down to 3 different messengers to try to give moderators. One's on YouTube, one's on actual StreamYard. Drones 863, Tesla drones. I already talked about Archer. Somebody just cuss me out here in a little bit, and I'll say your name if I missed you. Okay.
Say my name. Say my name.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sorry about that.
Wasn't that cool that I had that on Charles? It was the universal answer for everything. Oh, all right, cool. So I love the Mavic 3. I do. I'm not so apprehensive about flying it now. Do I personally think? Here's what I want to ask, because Keith, you and Steve seem to have, come together and said that it's going to take a different model. I'm trying to understand now that what makes you think that it's going to take a different model as opposed to what's on board can't get it done.
Certification.
So
no, but what I'm trying
certification.
To say, right? I totally. But we're not going to put a new part on it. We're just simply activating Galileo.
But
certified.
But the licensing.
Go on.
You go.
You two guys are right.
I was going to say, I believe Galileo gets switched on when Galileo gets switched on. It's been delayed more than once.
Well, yeah, that's true. But the thing about it is the satellites are already there. They've already been through all the testing. We're just the paperwork's already turned in.
This is already on the street too, but doesn't mean it's ready to go.
Well,
Galileo's be ready to go the same way.
Bill, I wouldn't pin my hopes on Galileo. I just wouldn't. It'll be on when it's on.
I think if you dig deep into the FAA filings for the certification and you find Galileo on there, then yes. But it's not in the specs. It's not in
the specs. It's in the specs for the Mavic 3. That's where I found it at, man. That's how I looked at. I looked each one individually up. I literally Googled what GPS system does the Mavic 3 use, and it gave me all the specs.
But I don't see Galileo mentioned in the specs. If I go to DJI website, it's not there.
All right,
yeah.
let me
not
go ahead. Yeah. All right, you go ahead. Y'all keep talking.
I actually have run into, Steven, you're right. I've run into this problem trying to look up like camera specs for DJI drones. If you go just like Google it, you'll get one piece of information, one story. Mm-hmm. You go to the DJI site, you'll get a different story.
Yeah. You have to trust the DJI site because that's going to give you
your best source.
That's where you get your that's where you get your release notes, and they're the only ones that are able to give you release notes. whatever anyone else does, you can't. I honestly wouldn't trust them because, they're not, they're not licensed to give release notes.
Wrong one. There you go, the other page. Hang on, I got it. It's coming. Chrome tab, that'll work better. There we go. Mavic 3. Speckies. As you can see right here, let me come back over here. So you can see right here, GNSS GPS plus Galileo plus Beidou right there. Mavic 3
is
right off the DJI page. Right there.
It wasn't there. You're right,
there.
Stephen. It wasn't
It's
there.
right
When
there.
I looked a few weeks ago, it wasn't.
yeah, it wasn't there.
Galileo and Beidou. Because Galileo wasn't active at that point in time, and they're hoping.
But Galileo is still not active at this point.
I get that, but you all were trying to tell me that it wasn't there, and I'm sharing it and showing you. Yes, it is.
But what we are actually more caring about here is GLONASS.
Yeah,
we want to have GLONASS.
But there's
That's what
nothing
what we want. And if we don't have GLONASS right now, we are so dependent on GLONASS with everything, even your watches. If we're so dependent on GLONASS, it's the more reliable, let's say, positioning, and you can have Galileo, you can have everything else. If you don't have GLONASS, you're going to have these issues.
Okay, so but the link you just gave me, Keith, is showing the exact same thing.
No, I just sent it to you. Yeah, that's what I said. It was. I know it's got Galileo, but Galileo is not on, and I also know
Right. Yeah,
Galileo.
That's what I'm trying. And they're praying. I'm not going to lie. They're praying that's going to be their saving grace. They're praying. I really think that DJI is praying.
I'm not convinced it will be.
Okay.
And if they are going to get the GLONASS satellite system sorted out, that will require a new drone.
Yes, that
now,
will. We've already
whether they do or not is another matter. Galileo is a brand new system. Right. Yes, it's been tested, but it hasn't been tested to the level yet that has the reliability that GPS and the other systems have.
Yes.
So I think we're going to be seeing issues with Galileo for the next 2 to 3 years while these issues get ironed out, because it's just not. It's a brand new GPS system.
Yeah. GLONASS is the Russian system,
yes.
Charles. It is the Russian system.
Galileo is EU. It's what is the Czech Republic? I think is who actually controls the Galileo satellite.
I thought Galileo was an EU thing.
You're right.
Yeah,
but
it is. Yeah,
isn't the Czech Republic still part of the EU now?
Yes.
I don't. Yeah. Yes, they are, but I don't think it's Czech on their own. I think it's a.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Isn't it
part of isn't it part of the European Space Agency or something? Isn't it?
I think it is. I think it was certainly Esther that put most of them up.
Let's see. Okay.
And I know that a lot of the Galileo satellites are built right next to my dad's house in Guildford.
Operated by the European Union Space Agency headquarters in Prague, Czech Republic.
They're headquartered. Prague, But a lot of these satellites, I think, are made in Guildford.
See, Bill did some research this week, man. Yeah, I was ready.
Oh boy.
Yes, I'm out of energy drinks. I'll fizzle soon. Just quit.
Oh boy.
It's like.
No, Justin. I'm not defending DJI on this one.
Plus, my wife made homemade chicken and dumplings tonight. So go ahead.
The one thing you said about the Mavic 3 camera is really good. And
camera's really good.
I can't fault it really from a sort of consumer pro level, but there are just too many other issues still with this drone. I can't justify the cost of it at this point in time.
Did he say I think he said? Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
He went there. He went there, folks. He went there.
Yeah. I do agree with you, Keith. I won't be buying it unless it's fixed.
I think
I can't see it being fixed.
I'm with you there, but the thing I think the biggest thing that bugs me about the Mavic 3 is they put when I'm flying it, I'm so used to the Mavic 2 controller that had those back buttons. It's the same with the smart controller, right? You have those 2 little custom buttons at the back, which I use all the time. How do DJI put out a drone that costs nearly twice as much, and they put out the cheap-ass controller that doesn't have those buttons? I'm sorry, that just pees me off.
Fly
Chat.
Yeah.
Private chat.
Fly app. It's as simple as that. It's so, and that's why I am also not happy about the Mavic 3, is because you're getting an inferior user interface with it. The user interface is way more inferior.
Yeah, it's better than it was, but it's still weak.
I would expect to have a much better system with the telemetry in a much nicer format. Because if you're flying a drone that expensive, that is prosumer, you need to have telemetry at your fingertips, at your eye level, and not like that. I mean, it's not acceptable. But that's just my opinion.
Have you used, Stephen? Have you used the Fly app since the latest update? Because I will say that the latest update has improved it somewhat.
I haven't updated. I've got my Mini 2 here.
Yeah, Stephen, I'm going to interrupt for a second. What Mr. Keith just said about the latest update, when they add that kind of camera box that appears at the bottom, where all your controls are right there in front of you, you don't have to dig down. That is so much better than what's in the Go 4 as far as accessing your camera feature when you're on the fly. When you need to make a quick adjustment within seconds, nothing beats that little box that they just added in the 1.5.9 version of the Fly app, hands down.
I agree with you. I agree with you on that bit, Ron. Stephen's still right with the flight stuff.
Stephen's also said, well, you prefer the Go 4 or the Fly app. That's a personal choice. Nobody's wrong and nobody's right on what application. I think there's very few things you can't do in the Fly app that you could do in the Go app before. I know, like. They've added some. There used to be a lot missing, but now there's not much missing. It may not be in the same place, or you may not like the interface as much, but they have put most of it back.
He figured it. He got it.
Private chat, Chuck.
He got it.
I got it.
He got it finally. That's why I put the message in the main chat.
I actually have to update mine because I'm actually currently staying in a no-fly zone, and I brought my Mini 2 with me, but I can't fly it. So I actually haven't updated it for that reason, but I should update it and check because it's been about a month and a half since I've flown it. So
I like what they did with the Fly app, with all the camera controls and stuff, but it's still kind of.
I do too.
The thing I don't like about the Fly app, and I don't know if it's any really different than Go 4, when I'm using the smart controller or the RC Pro now with the Mavic 3. Up in the upper right-hand corner where you have some information on satellite counts and things like that, the shit is so small.
They did improve the font in the most recent updated Fly.
Yeah, it's still but I agree with you, Ron. They did.
I mean, you got to consider the market. I mean, like,
right.
anybody over 39 is going to struggle seeing that font.
Yeah,
Sorry.
absolutely right. Absolutely right. But at the same time.
Whoa!
Is it Curtis?
Curtis.
Yeah.
Well, that was fast.
Curtis. No, it wasn't that fast. They were kind of going in slow.
It was kind of nice, wasn't it, Bill? You could see them.
Yeah, it was that you weren't having to pay really close attention. Y'all could actually talk. So Curtis starts one. Pack number 2. Curtis, please send me your address in Messenger on Facebook, and I will send these out to you very soon, sir.
That's one of the things I like to see. I like if you could adjust the font and the RC Pro. While I brought that up, has anybody else noticed that you can't connect to 5.8 gigahertz, whatever gigahertz, on your
gigawatts
home network?
I haven't noticed.
It's only 2.4.
I haven't noticed.
What do you mean on your home network? What
on my Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi connection. It's only 2.4. It's not 5.8, and
what you mean to just actually connect when they're flat, or just connect for the Wi-Fi?
Yeah, when I go to connect my RC Pro to my home network, I have 2.4 and 5.8 gigahertz, and the smart controller will connect to 5.8, like all my other devices. The RC Pro doesn't even care that they're there. It doesn't show them. I tried manually entering them in, give them a static IP address, nothing. And it says in the book that it has it. Then it says not available in all areas. Well, is the United States excluded? And if so,
You're
why?
in that area, you know?
Yeah. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Don't you think DJI have done this on purpose with this small satellite font that, as you said,
don't know how little
as
you're
you
getting
said,
in.
You think,
it takes us so long to find it because the over 39s are finding it hard to read. But by the time we do find it and read it, maybe the satellite connection would have already got there. I'm just saying.
I don't know. Maybe.
Nobody's talked about this yet. I mean, the slow satellite, acquisition is definitely an issue all over the world. Some people have had better and worse, but it's a real issue. But okay, how about when you actually get your 12 satellites and you take off and you bump up to about 100 feet? I'm having no problems at that point. I'm using it at 20 satellites or whatever when I'm at say 100 feet high. And I usually maintain that throughout the flight, or it goes up a little. Has anybody else had any trouble with their satellites once they actually lock the 12 in and get up in the air?
I've seen reports of it losing satellites. When I flew it again after this issue became apparent, I saw it. It took off with 14 satellites, lost 2, but didn't drop below the magic 12, and so therefore remains stable. I have heard and seen lots of people on the groups talking about them, depending on where they are in the world, losing satellites once it's in the air. How widespread that issue is, I don't know, because most people I haven't heard complain about it. I've seen it drop a couple, but it's only happened once.
Yeah, I've not seen it drop any more satellites once as a height any more than any other DJI drone I have. And now I've only flown the Mavic 3 so far in the South Jersey shore areas. I haven't tested in other regions. I will be going to Florida in March, so I'll see if it does any better or worse in the Florida area. But even though that's hundreds of miles south of me, it's still in the same, horizontal line though. So I'm not moving much off of that.
I will say this, because it's interesting what Bill was saying about Chuck's drone and the IMU problem and the dodgy soldering. I do get the feeling that DJI's actual manufacturing process has issues and with their quality control, because we've got camera shops in all the malls, and each one of them has got a Mavic 3 out on like a stand. And I've been into 5 shops, and 3 of the shops, the Mavic 3, the gimbal at the back has been missing one of the rubber plates, or it's completely snapped off, or one of the LED light holders has come off and stuff like that. So the fact that Chuck might have a hardware issue in with the IMU is not surprising. I do think they've got manufacturing issues when it comes to quality control.
Just want to know the best way to investigate it. I guess I'll have to call Drone Nerds where I bought it from and see what they can do for me. Because I mean, it's going to have to be.
Well, worst comes to worst, I had to wait 2 minutes yesterday.
Huh? What?
Well, I've never had above a minute with the Air 2S, except, I mean, the one thing I suppose I didn't try with the Mavic 3, and I should try this, is if you turn it off once it's acquired batteries, put in a new
it's fast.
Put in a new battery.
It's fast.
Then quick?
Yeah, then it's fine.
It's fast.
It's fine if you do that.
It remembers.
Can you see this here?
Once you have the lock, once you have the lock and stuff, that's it. So if you put a new battery in, or just, or even just restart it, it's fine. So it's just that first initial lock.
Lock that's painful.
Okay, can you all see this? You can see the orbital period. Like this first one we're Glonass, then GPS, then Beidou, and then Galileo. And
Galileo.
You can see,
Galileo.
Effectively. And these are their positioning satellites. Actually, you can see the difference is GPS, the US only has one GPS actual positioning satellite. Everything else is informational satellites that we have up in this system. So they're bouncing that signal off of all these and kind of getting and then the one's given the main signal. But if you can look here, then GLONASS has 2, then BDU has 3. When Galileo finally gets done, it's going to have 4. You understand? That's part of why
it has to, because it's at a higher orbit. It's a larger diameter circle it's making. That's why the period is longer.
7 times the power of anything up there too.
But I don't know how that's affected by the fact that what's the altitude for like these? What are they saying? I can barely read it.
In theory, when Galileo is fully online, Galileo is probably going to be the most reliable system. Partly because of its altitude, partly because of the number of positioning satellites that it has. But it's got to get to that stage.
So you think DJI was betting on the future? With,
yes. But the thing about it was Galileo was supposed to be active in May 2020. So they weren't really gambling. They figured it would be ready by now. They thought even with the delays and shit.
Hang on, I will speak to DJI on this, Rick. Anybody who is in a tech company knows that when you get a release of any major tech thing, add a couple of years to that before it gets ready.
Okay, let me rephrase.
Maybe 20 to 2022 is a couple of years.
That might be. Rephrase. DJI had lost the license to GLONASS and was praying to God that Galileo would be active by then. Okay, is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
Possibly.
Okay.
Well, I
was
mean,
it possible the Chinese satellite system could put more satellites in the air at some point, and that would help?
Well, that's what I was. That's what I was showing you.
I suspect behind closed doors, certain Western governments might have a problem with drones communicating with the Chinese system because it's a two-way system.
When I was talking to Addie was talking about Chinese satellite, or excuse me, U.S. satellites don't particularly like the handoff to Chinese satellites. So GPS, our system, doesn't particularly like handing off to BDU. Okay, so I don't know how you want to read that, but they don't like talking to each other. It's kind of like, what was it? What was the old show where Lily Tomlin was the operator and she was like, ringy dingy, two ringy dingy. How may I help you, please? How may I help you? Oh, now connecting to the BDU satellite. Hang on, ring, 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 ring. They're not answering. Could I call again later?
Maybe we can get the Mavic 3 on one of those old party lines from the old days.
The party lines, yeah.
Would you please get off the phone? I need to make a phone call.
Yeah, exactly. It's a party line.
It's a sad day when the original Mavic Pro is still a better connected drone to satellites than the Mavic 3.
It's true.
Well, that's like I was telling Chuck, because we were
right
true fanboys earlier today because we were making every excuse possible for a $3,000 drone.
Wait a minute, the $21.99. Don't quote the Flymore package. You don't have to buy the Flymore package. Get the prices right here.
Oh well, okay. Let's go. Okay, let's go. The should have been proper Flymore. 2 batteries, the RC Pro, and the drone. So let's say 3,500.
No, Ron's right. It's
just
about $500 more than the
because of the $300 bag, which by the way you can buy on AliExpress for $65.
Really? Really? That's true?
That's the same place where you can get those Gucci bags for $150.
I'm so glad I went a la carte.
No, the bag is real. The bag is real. It's basically okay. So because they're made where they are made, certain bags like that, and they're on AliExpress for $65. And I know someone who ordered one, and it's the real thing. I think maybe some of the stitching is slightly dodgy or something, but yeah. But $300 for that bag it's a nice bag, but it is not a $300 bag.
That's the reason why I just went with the base Mavic 3, and then I went a la carte on the other stuff.
Yeah.
And I did the math and came out ahead.
Yep, that's the only way to
I
do
think
it.
I think all those bags that are in Alibaba, I think those are the ones that everyone has returned from, that they've sent the drones back. So those drones have made, or the bags have made it on there because they've sent out new ones.
Just parting them out.
But Chuck, I think you should send yours back.
Well, I'll talk to drone nerds.
I think you should send yours back.
I'll talk to drone nerds tomorrow. I got to have a discussion with their tech guys again and say, yeah, I have a concern. I think a valid concern.
I think you should send it back. I really do.
I mean, I just flew the Mavic 3 today, and it got faster satellites than it usually does. I'm going to say it was somewhere in the 2 to 3 minute range, which is quick for mine. Usually mine's more in the 3 to 4 minute range.
Yeah, see, Chuck
I
was
didn't do
actually
anything different. I flew at a kind of a normal location at a normal time. The weather was normal, so I didn't do anything different.
Yeah, like Chuck got upset with me. He was like, "Bullshit, man! You're having the same troubles out of your drone as I'm having out of mine." I'm like, "No, dude, really, I'm not." I mean, I had basically like the it took a while to connect, but I was still getting 12 satellites before I lifted off my deck. Now, when I would move up, in the air, I would get 20, 22, 23, 24 satellites, but I wasn't getting.
I'm going back to you guys suspect my IMU on my Mavic 3. You suspect the IMU. But
because the other drones have had the same issue, Chuck, on this run.
But do they do it regardless of what your obstacle avoidance is set for? Or because that's where I'm confused, because whether I'm still using obstacle avoidance, but instead of having the drone bypass objects, I have it stop. If I put it in stop mode, it's okay. If I put it in bypass, that's when it does the
have a look
stuff.
There was that's Sean's friend, I think Ian in London. Didn't he mention an issue with the APAS system?
Even Ed Ricker mentioned to me, he said, he mentioned the same thing to me and said, turn off bypass and I'll bet you it goes away.
Yeah, that's a real issue. Yeah, the bypass, turn bypass off that.
So that
helps the drone fly smooth. If you ever knows, like if you fly it right around you, it's kind of bobbing around.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't think that's the IMU on mine.
Obstacle avoidance or whatever.
I think it's IMU.
Yeah.
I'm with him. Here's what I'm thinking, that there's a batch that the computer hit them wrong. Like it was off a centimeter, and when it tacked the board, it just missed. On like probably 10 or 15 of them, or maybe more, 1,000, 10 or 15,000.
Pilot error.
Pilot error. Something else that I had read about in some of the forums. I meant to bring it up earlier.
Funny.
People were saying that there was a delay between the time that you would turn on the drone, turn on the controller, and you would actually get a signal to the controller. So they were saying, that some of them were actually taking as much as 90 seconds to get the controller to connect to the drone, but then they would finally get satellite connection within another 30 seconds or so after that. So could that potentially be an issue too?
Well, I follow that thing because of the slow satellites. I turn the drone on, get an open location, and then go get the controller out, get my, I'm using the smart controller, the RC Pro, get the strap on, get the sticks on, hoping that time will eat, and then I turn the smart controller on like minutes after I actually turn the drone on.
Ooh, I do it.
And I don't have any issues with connecting. It doesn't seem to help satellites anymore, though.
I don't know if it makes a difference either, but I usually just I double push the RC Pro power button, light that up, and then meanwhile I'm getting the aircraft ready to go. Power that up as quickly as I can, and then give it a chance to start connecting the satellites.
Bob,
but it doesn't really matter. You're still looking. You're still looking.
What I would recommend, Chuck and Ron, and also Bill, is that you turn on the RC. If you're using the RC Pro, turn it on. Start to record your screen, and
see how long it takes to connect
every time. And I would log that every time. So I would create a log of every time so that you can go back and check that and keep that as a reference. And if you do the same procedure every time, that it's something that you would go back and you could actually correlate. You could correlate that. That's what I would do.
I mean,
I
everything we're saying here is true. But despite all that, the Mavic 3 is still the drone I choose when I go out. I choose it over the Air 2S. I choose it over the Mini. I choose it over the Autel Evo 2 Pro. It's the drone I choose because once it's in the air, once it does have those 12 satellites in the air, its cameras definitely the best in auto of all those drones. It definitely handles the wind better than all those drones. It flies faster than all those drones. Basically, outside of getting the slow satellites, once it's in the air with the 12 satellites or better, it's the best drone I own. Because I don't have, some of the issues. Chuck has the IMU. I don't have some of the issues.
I don't know if I have an IMU issue right now.
The only issue I'm down to now is slow satellites. And once in a while, people still stay to see a little crooked horizon, but it's much better than it used to be. So it's still the drone. If they never fix this, if it never gets any better than today, I won't sell the drone. I won't send it back. I will still keep it, and I will still fly it more than any other drone. So that may be unpopular opinion, but that's what it is.
It's certainly.
If you look at the content, so there's night footage content of the show I was doing last night, and there's content that is amazing. It's low light capability is amazing. I was so impressed with, because all those drones that were used for filming that they were all Mavic 3s. They were all Mavic because I asked all those pilots, I said, what are you using? Because I was thinking they were using Inspire 2s or whatever. But no, they were all using Mavic 3. Every one of them. I look at that content, it's incredible.
It's freaking low it's in light. 1080, man. Let me see. No, wait a minute.
What?
Oh no. Yeah. It's even less. It's they uploaded it in 720, Steve. And it's still unreal. I swear to you, uploaded it in 720.
Would the 720 soften the noise? But I mean, you can get rid of. I've seen high res stuff, and that they use
but the ISO
denoise and it
capacity
helps
on it, and a micro four thirds.
Don't go leave now. Wait till later and watch.
A 4/3 sensor, not a micro 4/3 sensor. The 4/3 sensor. I think if you've got the Mavic 3, depending on the application, you are going to go to that drone because the camera is superior. If I just can't justify the costs at the moment, I think depending on what you're using that drone for, if you are making YouTube videos and things like that and just chucking stuff up on YouTube, depending on if you're a travel vlogger or anything like that, I'm not convinced you need a Mavic 3.
In one sentence.
Hey, Bob, do me a favor and look in the private chat for the show.
But if you are, depending on if you're doing something like filming what Stephen was doing, the Mavic 3 hands down. The low light capability of that drone is just phenomenal. Its picture quality is pretty good. Don't get me wrong, I'd love that camera. I just can't justify the cost of the drone at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree with you. If all you're ever going to do is fly in the middle of the day in bright sunlight and post up to social media, just get a million to and call it a day, But if you, want the low light capability, then you don't have to be, shooting in the middle of the night. To me, I don't do hardly any night flying at all. But I like low light. Say I'm shooting at, kind of near sunset. I want my shadows to have something to them. I don't want them to be, all crushed because my camera can't capture enough light. So I look at low light not as nighttime, just during the day. I just want more, brightness in the dark parts of my, video or pictures I'm shooting during the day. And I take as many pictures as I do video. So I'm as much a photographer as I am.
I love taking pictures.
And something like the little mini 2 or whatever. I mean, the camera for taking photos in that really is a big letdown from something like the Air 2S or the Mavic 3 or the Mavic 2 Pro.
Can I ask your opinion? What do you think about the picture quality out of the Mavic 3? Do you think it is that much better than say the Mavic 2 Pro? Because whilst video is awesome, I'm not convinced that the picture quality is that much. It is better, but I'm not convinced it's that much better.
It's not worlds better. I mean, I wouldn't upgrade if you just were trying to get better photos. But again, that sensor leaving in more light.
Nobody's got it.
I have to do less color correction on exposure and things like that with the Mavic 3 photos versus the Mavic 2 Pro, which again, they don't capture much.
There it is, Curtis Dart.
But Curtis got it. He already won one.
So, Curtis?
Do you want
a repeat winner?
Do you want
Charles?
Because he was going incrementally.
And meanwhile, Charles agrees with Charles that I think it's the OA that's my issue, not the IMU. But anyway,
I'll just also say that two of the Mavic 3 pilots last night that I was talking with, two of them had Inspire 2s as backup.
Really?
They preferred, but they preferred to use the Mavic 3. So they had two of the 6 pilots had Inspire 2s as backup.
Okay.
And let me have one more thing.
Wait.
Mr.
Quick,
Keith's
Bob,
question.
give me another number. Give me another number, Bob, and then go, Ron. Go.
Go ahead.
No, Bob, just give me another number.
I think the Mavic 3, even for photos, the camera's better in auto than the Mavic 2 Pro is in auto.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, they've perfected the auto settings. I'm talking about when you stick it in manual and start shooting.
Yeah, and I'll go back to my original thing. It's slightly better because it gathers more light, but it's not a
I've got a couple of raw pictures out of it, and I was editing, and I was looking at that versus even the Air 2S raw, and I was thinking, okay, you can see that it's different, but it's not $1,000 different. But when it comes to video,
Chris is here. Hey, Lake Pilot won again. Lake Pilot got the number 41.
Really nice.
And the ProRes out of it is pretty good. It's not like the best ProRes I've ever seen, but it's good ProRes.
Bill, are you looking for Lake Pilot got 3? You were looking for that?
3? Huh?
3.
He said 41.
3.
Yeah, Bob gave you a new number.
He gave you a new number. Scroll up. Lake Pilot got 3. I don't know who else did before that, but I saw Lake Pilot.
Oh, he changed it again. I thought he said 41 again. That's why I went with it.
No, he put that in twice the first time around. Go up. Like Lake Pilot. Lake Pilot nailed it twice, so keep scrolling up. I don't know if when he got 3 before Lake Pilot, but he definitely had 3.
Oh, he had 3 first too?
I saw it roll by.
No, Curtis was up
here.
Yam
Drone has it. Wait, where's the new one?
Hang on a second.
I'm confused. Where did it start?
It's a confusing game. You know, we need
it started
game.
When I went go.
Holy
yellow marker. Hang on. The yellow marker.
All right.
We didn't replay on this one, folks.
So we're going down. We're
Lake Pilot was
3.
the
We're
first.
looking for a 3. Looking for a 3. There it is.
Yeah, okay, I was right. Okay, good. At least I'm not crazy. Well, I am crazy, but I'm not crazy with getting the 3 right. So.
And Lake Pilot, I'm lazy. Please email me at deadfarmers52 again and give me your address so I don't have to go back through emails. Thank you. I love you all.
I love you all. Yeah. Group hug.
Okay, that's so I got Lake Pilot for the 3rd one. We're good there. I can close this part of the chat. All right. So something we still got 25 people in here. What do y'all want to talk about here? What do y'all want to do on what would you all like us to talk about? Because I'm the only real fixture that's here every week, so I'm the pain in the ass that's here every week. The other guys have other shows and stuff that they all do regularly, so they kind of come and go. You see Steve here a lot, you see Chuck here a lot. Chris and Ron are pretty much always a regular.
They're fixtures.
Chris works a lot and can't always be here, but I love having him here. And Ron is like basically the wisdom that keeps me in line and from totally going batshit crazy. And I haven't said this yet. Wait, hang on. And welcome to Mr. Ron Brown, the heart and soul of Drone Nation. There we go.
Well, you gave me too much credit. I had to pull you back one time tonight when you said the Mavic 3 was $3,000. It's the only time I had to bring you in tonight.
Had to bring me back down to earth there.
Yeah.
Had to haul me back down. Let me see if I'm seeing what I'm thinking here. All right. Chris is going to have to take off for the evening because he's out of beer and the beer store closes in 25 minutes. So I will let Chris say his good evenings to everyone here.
Enjoyed it, Bill. You guys have a good night and have a good rest of the week and a weekend. We'll catch you.
Hey, Chris, Super Bowl pick real fast before you leave.
Ooh.
Oh, it's going to be the Rams.
Oh, the LA Rams?
Oh.
Wait a minute. Did they beat our Cowboys?
Yes, they did.
Okay. Just checking.
Well, here, I'm going to, okay, since we're going there, I'm going to
Mackey Stafford, Texas boy.
I'm going for the year of the Tiger. Year of the Tiger. Year of the Tiger.
That fits in.
Yeah,
what are you talking
Good night,
about?
Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Oh, Super Bowl.
Cheers, Chris.
Nobody cares about
the Bengals. We got the Bengals and the Rams.
American football.
The Bengals and the Rams, and that's why
I should be British.
It's the year of the Tiger.
And I rooted for the Bengals a couple times in the 80s, and they didn't win, so I had to wait like most of my life for them to get back.
Well, there's so many firsts with this kid, and they're really advertising the hell out of it. You know, so I'm thinking.
Story.
I'm thinking that maybe he's going to pull something off.
Now, Bob lives in the gambling capital of the world. Maybe he's got an in on what the odds makers are saying.
Boy, I haven't looked at that exactly. The day of the Super Bowl, my wife bets $10 on the underdog every year. She's probably 50-50, no, I have no idea. I think the Bengals are going to keep riding this magic train.
You heard it here from the heart of Las Vegas.
I still think it's going to be. So Kurt was saying remote ID, but we've beat remote ID to death. I think we're all of the only thing that I thought was weird was with the Chinese satellite having both send and receive capabilities, they kind of already got remote ID on all the DJI drones already.
Oh, okay.
I have a question about the controllers.
Okay.
We know that the Mavic 3 and the Air 2S both are on the RC Pro now.
Correct.
Are they going to add anything else to the RC Pro? Are they going to add the Mini 3 or the Mini 2? Will the Mini 2 get on there?
Yeah, we're going to the Mini 3 now.
Better question.
I think that would be a good marketing ploy for them. I think that the more devices they can add to that RC, the better.
I don't think it would hurt the Mini 3 sales.
Y'all aren't thinking of something. Y'all have missed something completely. Does the RC Pro have a Glonass receiver in it? Think about it. If it can now pick up the Air 2S and the Air 2S uses that, so that's
the drone itself.
It's the drone that's picking up the satellites. So I mean, you do have location in the
so there's going to be better connection with the RC Pro and the Air 2S than it is going to be with the RC Pro.
Well, Bill, would it be possible if the Mavic 3 continues to have woes that DJI could send out little Glonass doggles that we could plug into the solder of our Mavic 3s and get all our stats back?
That's so awesome, Ron. I mean, you spend all this money on a drone, you got to freaking start gluing stuff to the side of it.
Hey, what's wrong with little doggles?
Just double side foam tape that to the side. You'll be fine.
Technically, you do if you want that lovely little 4G.
That's true. That's true. The 4G, actually, the 4G dongle thing is kind of cool. Though.
Hey, what about when the 4G comes out? Will we have to worry about the satellites anymore?
You won't be getting the 4G in the US. I don't think the US is going to allow it.
Oh, we'll find a way to get it, won't we, Ron?
No.
We will find a way.
Our centers will be all behind it. If it benefits the cell phone companies, they'll be all for it.
Yeah, we'll find a way.
I've heard that it won't be available.
He's a good point.
Yeah.
Even Chuck brought this up.
I've also heard that actually Valkyrie in China have actually shut down their 4G servers for their drones. So it's kind of weird that DJI are just bringing out a 4G kind of, let's say, service when the other Chinese manufacturers are actually shutting down their 4G
well, maybe they
servers.
can upgrade that dongle to 5G.
Look, did you see what Mark was saying?
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's
it's not 5G in the RC Pro. It's 4G in the RC Pro.
Yeah.
Did you see what Mark's saying here?
Yeah,
and he's right. I've noticed that too. It happens every time.
I have
firmware updates updating the getting rid of the GLONASS and then getting it back again when the Air 2S.
Oh yeah, wouldn't that be kind of messed up? Maybe
man.
that would be kind of crazy.
I suspect they'll sort that out though. The Air 2S and the Mavic 3 will both work fine on the RC Pro once they sort out the firmware.
When I had two drones connected to the original smart controller, I had this with the Air 2S.
I have this problem right now with the smart controller with a Mavic 2 Pro and the Mini 2 because the Mini 2's on fly. I suspect it's because the Mini 2's on fly and the Mavic 2 Pros are on Go 4. As long as if I use the same aircraft or if I go one Mavic 2 Pro, grab my other Mavic 2 Pro or my Mavic 2 Zoom, it picks them up, bam, bam, bam. But if I try to go to the Mini 2, I have to relink it. And then if I get the Mini 2 linked up and it's fine, it'll be rock solid. Mini 2, Mini 2, Mini 2. Go to one of the other drones on Go 4 and it's like, duh. And I have to do it all. I have to relink that.
I have to do that as well. I have to do it with the Enterprise, Phantom 4, Mavic, Mini 2, Air 2, and Mavic 2 Pro.
Yeah,
So I've got five drones connected to my smart controller.
And I thought I had a workaround, Steven. I thought I figured it out. If I swiped down and went to aircraft management, did like the back doorway and switched them, I thought it would work, but it's hit or miss.
It's a good idea in practice, but it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. It's more hassle than it's worth, actually. Especially when you're on the field.
I just came up with a killer idea for next week's
totally
show.
Goofy, yeah, Steven. Goofy.
Well, I want to ask you all what I think, and we've still got 26 people here. Okay, we'll say this will be the title of the show. You've got $2,600. You can buy whatever you want. What drone gear will you buy?
You said how much money, Bill?
$2,600.
$2,600.
Now I don't want you to tell me now. Then we can have everybody in the chat. Well, I mean, it can be FPV. It could be computer software and a cheap drone. It could be whatever. So it would be cool to see what everybody.
It doesn't have to be a drone.
No, you can. You've got to figure out some way
to relate it
related to make it related. Yeah. Okay. I'm just giving a number. You all want to change the number? You want to say $5,000 to create your own media studio? And does it include a drone or does it not? How about that? You've got $5,000. Create a media studio.
I like the budget figure better. It's better. You relate to more people if you're give them a tight budget to work with.
Okay, so we want to say, we'll make it even harder. You've got $2,500.
Could I get $400 more?
Okay, if you had to buy a drone, if you had a budget to only buy a drone, which drone would you buy? I mean, even if you have it now, but if you had to buy, say you don't have any drones, but you know what is good.
How much do we have? We have 26. We have $2,600.
Yeah. So if you
knowing what I know now,
we're going to stick with the $2,600.
Knowing what I know now, I'd go to B&H. I get the Air 2S with the RC Pro, and then I get another spare Air 2S to throw in the bag as redundant.
That's
right,
exactly
Keith. That's what I should have done in the first place.
That's because I think that the Air 2S is probably I think it's the best value for money in a drone.
It is
out there. It's the best value for money.
Keith told me that
because I think they underpriced the Air 2S and they overpriced the Mavic 3.
And Keith told me that too.
Rod, precisely. You are on the money there. This has been my biggest.
There's something we said about that.
This has been my biggest complaint on the Mavic 3. The Air 2S is a whole lot of drone for the money.
It is. There's a lot of bang for the buck there.
And with
the RC Pro bundled with it, it's the deal of the century. It really is.
The Air 2S also has the SDK. It has it now. It
does now. Yeah.
No ideas anymore.
There's so much. I mean, that is
1-inch sensor. The only thing.
Fairly good drone. If you want to do some photogrammetry, if you want to do inspections, you can work that with pretty much any piece of software as long as those companies are going to have the development and do it. You have SDK on that,
right, Stephen. But almost all DJI drones release the SDK at about a year old, so the Mavic 3 will probably be able to do that somewhere around November, December of this year. It's like clockwork on these DJI drones. About a year after they come out.
But the Mavic 3 should be an automatic step up from the Mavic 2, and the Mavic 2 pretty much had SDK when it came out. I'm pretty sure about that. I was doing mapping with it when it actually came out.
Which drone, Stephen?
Mavic 2.
Which drone did you say?
The Mavic 2 had SDK pretty soon when it actually came out.
I'm not going to tell you all show ideas anymore. I'm just because y'all are just. Let's keep on going, man.
Geez, Steven, I don't remember when the SDK came out.
I love you all, but I don't have the extra caregiver to look after my daughter now.
You got to run, Bill.
I need to wind things up so that I can give her a shower. But again, as you can tell, there apparently is a lot of interest in the idea of, we'll work out the number. It's either going to be 2,600 or it's going to be 5,000. It's either going to be, wait a minute. Here we go. Let's do it. We'll make it even broader. You got $2,600. You can buy only a drone. You haven't had a drone before. You got $5,000. You need to create a media studio. Okay, are you going to buy a drone for said media studio? Are you going to skip a drone for said media studio? Are you going to buy expensive lighting? Same for the drone. Are you going to buy accessories for said drone? Are you going to go the cheap route and buy better software?
Can I just go to the nudie bar with a bunch? Can I go with $5,000 bills and go to the nudie
The
bar?
whole point is to hang on to this shit till
Crap
next
table.
week.
We could go to the crap table. We'll double it.
Hang on to this shit. Till
Yeah,
next week.
19 black, baby.
All right, I'm gonna throw it around the room. Let everybody say their good evenings first. I'm going to start with our gentlemen from across the seas. First off with Mr. Keith.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Bill. It's been great. Enjoyed it today. Enjoyed having a chat. So thanks for having me on.
And next up, Stephen.
Hey, good to see you all again. Nice to meet you, Keith. And I'll see you all. I'll be here in Taiwan for the next 3 weeks, so I'll be around. So
Next up,
fly safe.
Bob.
Hey, thanks everybody. Thank you, Bill. I really appreciate you having me on. I have to tell you, over the last few minutes, my attention's been diverted on another monitor here. The Vegas Golden Knights are down 2 goals here. So my other passion.
Who are they playing tonight, Bob?
Huh?
Who are they
Calgary
skating
Flames.
against? Ah, okay,
Yeah.
very cool. And
So,
over to Ron.
I want to thank everybody in the chat that joined us tonight, and our great panel tonight, especially our overseas people that joined us tonight. Always a pleasure to have our people from abroad on the show, and Bill for putting another great show tonight. So I will I guess I'll flip it back to Bill now to say our good nights.
I've got one more. I'm gonna get Chuck.
Oh, I forgot Chuck. Sorry, I forgot
Ron.
Chuck.
Well, thanks everybody in the chat for listening to me bicker about the Mavic 3 for a while, but I hope there's a fix in sight. And nice being with you guys tonight. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was. I had a blast. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We covered a lot of interesting subjects. There was a lot of I don't know. We had a lot of general disagreements, but there wasn't any chaos in those disagreements. So I thought that was kind of cool, So with that being
balanced,
With that being said, like I said, we're going to work it out. It's either going to be 2,600 and just the drone, or I think it would be better if we had the 2 systems, because there's going to be a more broad variety of talk.
I'm going to the strip club, I think.
Well, that's also something else we can bring up next week, because
I think
we all
Steve's
know
going to the casino.
this show is not made for kids. It's an adult show. We can talk about all that because we've been known to go squirrel.
I could still buy an Air 2S with the RC Pro and have money to go to the freaking strip club with. I still have a little bit left.
But you're going to want that extra Air 2S. So anyway, with that being said, please tune in next week. Live long and prosper.